minute
Oh, you want to say hi to Kelly?
Hi, buddy.
We're in Anchorage, about ready to get on our charter flight.
Lake Penn and Air to Sleep Mute.
The nerves has been real, so have the poops.
No, I haven't.
Val didn't make it out of the Omaha airport. Joe was going to just order me a taxi.
Oh, that's fun. Let's talk about that.
Christina's having a nervous breakdown episode. I don't know what it was. She needed to get it. She needed to dig deep, get her head right.
You need to dig real deep.
Dig real deep.
Halfway there, 2 more flights.
How you feeling, Kel?
I feel great. I slept well, just been sipping coffee. 0 nerves. Ask me again in 10 days.
Anchorage on a charter plane to Sleep Mute. And then Sleep Mute, we hopped on a little bush plane and flew here. It took a little over 2 hours.
There you go.
I'm vertically
Head all the
challenged.
way in.
Took a short stop for a stretch and got right back in. Pretty crazy day.
All right, we are officially on the ground in, well, wherever the heck we are, couldn't tell you. And our gear is unloaded and in that pile back by T. And our planes, they're about to take off.
Is that not wild? Landing on a hill.
Yeah. All right, about to be just me, Joe, and Christina for the next, well, week and a half. Any thoughts?
What do we do?
We go hunting, baby.
Don't leave me out here forever.
And we're here.
All right,
We got some work to do to set up camp, though.
let's get our house built.
Drop-in day. We got all of our shelters set up. Cut away a bunch of willows. Is that what these are?
Alders.
Alders. Just kidding. And by we, I mean Kelly and Joe.
Right here is the makings of our very own moss house. Thoughts?
Not yet.
Not yet.
This stuff is the craps.
Just shirtless Joe out here getting her done. That one.
And we got the tent set up and the cots put together, which seem to currently be slightly the nightmare of the night so far. Not a bad day, Joe. And
yeah, it's a great day. We caught some beautiful weather. We're very blessed. Spotted some nice. We saw probably 4 really nice bulls that go 60, 70 inches wide and had nice paddles. I just want to be patient and look at some. I just want to look at a bunch of bulls. So hopefully we'll see some more tomorrow. It's supposed to have some pretty bad weather. So we'll see how that shakes out.
Cool. How'd last night go?
I thought it went good. Got some good sleep. I think we fell asleep hard around 10 p.m. finally. And I slept till 3, which is my new MO, 6 o'clock back home. The wind picked up a little bit and it started to rain in the night. But otherwise, and my cot did collapse at some point early this morning.
Joe's, did yours?
Yes, mine collapsed too. So we'll have to remedy that sometime today.
You got a plan in place?
Yes, we'll engineer those things.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna cut some logs that are the right height, and I'm gonna try to notch them to make so the legs don't slip, because that's what the problem is. The legs pivot and then your cot falls on the ground.
So we flew in yesterday, set up tent.
Yep.
And explain why that is not considered day 1. Why is today considered day 1 now?
You can't hunt the day you fly. So the day that you fly in, you're not allowed to shoot. They don't want people flying over, spotting animals, landing, just go shooting them. And then, yeah, we had to literally hack our home out of this alder thicket because we're supposed to get a pretty nasty storm with winds and stuff. So we really had to pick a spot wisely to get in here out of the wind so we don't tear our tent and tarps, just tear everything up.
Okay, so we are getting ready to head out of the shelter for the first time today. What's the plan today, day 1 right now?
We have to get water. We got to go up to our water basin and collect water. We're down to a half of a bag of water. We have to have more water. So we're going to do that first thing this morning. And
We're pretty socked in. We don't have a view to look for any animals anyways.
Visibility is about maximum 400 or 500 yards max. So
we did see some really nice bulls last night.
Yeah, probably 25 moose, three nice ones. I don't know that they're shooters yet. We need to look at them. They're a mile away. All of them, they're too far. They were out of bounds. Hopefully we can call them in. We tried. We threw out some calls last night and raked, and so we'll see.
Why you laugh, T?
We're not sure if we scared them or if we called them in, but we'll see.
All right, hopefully when the fog lifts, we'll be able to tell. So venturing out. This is our driveway, if you will. This is what we hacked through. And this is our hill. We live in there. Right now, we're gonna go check the tarp that we put down. And the hope is, yes, Joe just gave me a thumbs up. So this is our drinking water.
There's a swimmer in there.
It's coming. Just getting ready to make some oatmeal here. Each day they give us baggies. This is our basically breakfast and lunch and snacks. Oh, it's ready. And then at dinner we have freeze-dried meals that we can pick from. So we just jet boil up some water and make our food. I tell you what, we've been here one day and I already understand why their first priorities are food and shelter. Because I think we were all a little hangry bears before we had food in us, but we had to get that shelter done. I probably shouldn't say bears.
about to get socked in again. So we can head back to our home. Right over there. We've been out for probably 3 or 4 hours trying to find. Alright, we gotta go.
A little bit of a windstorm here.
Huh?
This is bad.
Joe, what are we doing?
What are we doing now?
Yep.
Right now we are weathering the storm. It's driving rain, and probably when I measured it with my Kestrel, it hit 40 mile an hour just in 20 seconds, and it got worse since then, we can tell. So I'm going to say it's 50. I bet it's 30 sustained up to 50. It's really bad. Really, really bad.
Is it bedtime?
No, it's not bedtime, but we're doing the best we can. We already busted our tarp. We're making do.
End of day one.
Last night was a pretty rough night weather-wise. A lot of rain and blowing winds, like high gusts, 40 to 50 miles per hour.
Yep.
But we didn't wake up till 7:30, so that was a win. And made ourselves some breakfast and decided to set out for the day.
Day 2 morning.
I think we laid. Yes, we laid in our shelter for the last 14 hours. And weathered the storm last night. 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts all night long with just rain. Just rain. I don't know how else to explain it. I made a friend early this morning, Caterpillar. I should name him Harry or something. We watched him scale the side of the tent, make it all around. It's very interesting to see how God created his body, every little move. Now we're just cooking some breakfast.
Breakfast skillet is our warm breakfast this morning, so. How is it, Joseph?
It'll keep you alive in moose camp.
Joe is currently out trying to figure out what the world's gonna look like today. The good news is this is supposed to clear up by tonight, which means hopefully by later evening or first thing tomorrow, we're back on the bull hunt. Or we're gonna be on it today, just miserable.
Yeah, it was windy all day, driving rain. Visibility ranged from a quarter mile to over a mile, just depending on when the showers blew through. So it was brutal. Stuff got wet. I think you guys fared pretty good.
We built a shelter on the side of a hill, which took us probably a solid hour and a half to build. Cut branches down, hauled branches up the hill, put them in the side of the hill, but what you don't realize is nothing sticks in a hill very well because it's so soft. Tarped it down, made us look like we were somewhat of a bush.
This is our glassing shelter we just built. Only the storm's still really bad. So it's pretty much just whipping wind over the tarp right now, which may or may not be a good thing for trying to track down moose. But Engineer Joe's got us figured out here. And now we look for him somewhere out there. What was the point of the shelter on the side of the hill?
But you got to get out of the rain. It's driving rain. I mean, your binos will get all wet. Everything will get driving wet, and you can't. You're unproductive.
You're wet. Who cares about the bino? The humans are wet.
Not many moose today either. I got video of a probably 60-inch bull tonight.
And some of his lady friends.
Some things I've never seen bull moose do, or cow moose for that matter.
So
it's for a different video.
Kelly and I and Joe walked back midday, actually late afternoon, so that we could warm up. Joe went back out and glassed for 3-4 more hours while Kelly and I retrieved water and got camp kind of semi-set for tomorrow.
All right, T, how long has it taken to fill this thing back up with water?
probably be at least 30 minutes to fill it. There's 2 trips to the watering hole. And every time you go, you get soaked. So then you come back in.
It's probably been at least an hour.
Oh.
We need a weather break.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the goal for tomorrow? Day 3.
Depend on the weather. We have some bulls we want to look at, but we can't look at them when we can't look where we need to look because you'd have 40-mile-an-hour rain in your face. So, hopefully we weathered the storm. I hope.
What are your thoughts, Cal?
My thoughts are it was cold and wet today.
And windy. You said the wind was...
windy AF. And I look forward to waking up to sunshine and blue skies. I've talked to Jesus. So,
Oh boy.
just kidding. But any break in the wind and rain is going to be a welcome thing.
The biggest thing of the day was that Joe made it back to the shelter.
Amen.
Around the time roughly that he thought he would, which was a big win.
Good news is that Christina wasn't worried at all.
Love this man.
I'm pretty sure he loves her back. It just looks different.
Yeah.
There you have it. They're still in love. All right, good night. All right, Joe, as you're prepping gear, what's today look like?
About the same as any other day in Alaska, except the wind's not blowing 50 mile an hour, which is good. I think we got, I don't know, a mile visibility, maybe. We're gonna go find out. So, at least it's not raining and blowing.
And we saw a fox.
We did just see a fox right over that ridge then.
And I pooped.
Yeah. This is officially day
3
3 of hunting.
of hunting.
Okay.
3rd day that we can pull the trigger.
First day we actually might. No, did I not say that?
It was a beautiful day compared to the last couple days that it has been since we've been here. So we cooked our breakfast quickly and headed over to our glassing shelter where Joe did some calls and we literally glassed all day long. Joe sat on one side of the hill, Kelly and I on the other.
This is legitimately the first bit of sunshine we've had. What's today? Sunday afternoon. The storm blew in Friday night. And it was just... Oh, good. Went behind a cloud. You're kind of ruining my shot. And this sunshine... Oh my gosh, it makes all the difference in the world. We haven't seen blue sky or sun in days, so... Praise the Lord. It feels so good. She's glassing like she's supposed to be. I'm just taking in the sun.
We called in some small bulls. Like within 68 yards of us.
This guy's gonna wind up on our lap. You watch.
I don't want him on our lap. He's so tiny, though.
Yeah, he's a little bull.
What are you gonna do if he comes through these?
Carry him on. It'll be alright.
With what? Your humor? This is freaking wild. Too close. You did this.
Our game might be up now.
Wasn't a shooter, wasn't worth it, but that's the closest we've been. And that's a really good sign because they told us that once this storm was done and blew through, to give it about 24 hours before those bulls, well, before the animals really start moving again. T and Joe just went to the other side of the hill. Joe's been eyeing one, gosh, probably about a mile and a half away over a ridge over there that we would really like to not have to go over there to shoot. But T's gonna go put eyes on it with the scope. And Joe's gonna try to do some calls, see if he can't move it closer, see if it's even can hear us and see if it'll respond. While they are over there on that side of the hill, I'm holding down the fort. And if anything bad happens, 'cause that's my life now. Welcome to Alaska.
Joe glassed some really big bull. That's a couple miles away.
Too bad this guy wasn't in the way. That's a nice bull.
And then we came back over for dinner and then did some calling and glassing on our hill that we live on, just because we saw a decent sized bull travel behind here.
And we've been sitting here, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour. I was sitting here just quiet with tea and I heard a noise over my shoulder. And I turned and I looked and there is a whole bull moose just standing right on this, like on the hill with us, 50 yards maybe. And I heard a noise and I turned and I looked and I go, "Tea, there's a moose."
She goes, "There's a moose." She goes, "No, I'm not kidding. There's a moose behind me."
And I may or may not have crawled and hidden behind Christina because, well, mostly because she had the gun. No, I was terrified.
She quickly ran behind me and hunkered down like, "What do we do?" And it was just a little bull moose.
The good news is the calls are working. The bad news is the calls are working and they're just gonna keep coming. There's a little adventure for your night. I think my heart rate finally came back down a little bit. Wow, hunting is intense.
Pretty much the date, 10,
It's late night.
yeah, it's 10:06, just getting into the tent for the night. Hopefully tomorrow morning brings good weather
We saw
again.
those two good ones tonight on the hill right before dark.
Oh, we did. We saw two good ones. Would you like to talk about it, Joe?
No, go ahead.
If you want to know what that noise has been in the background, Engineer Joe's been fixing his bed in the back of this whole interview.
Saw two good bulls a ways away tonight square off with one another and then split ways. So hopefully we see them tomorrow morning, get a better look at what they are as well.
And then
Hopefully.
spirits higher today.
Spirits are a lot higher. We had the sun, we got dried out. Now if we can just stay warm tonight, it's a little cooler tonight. My toes are already frozen in the sleeping bag.
All right, tomorrow, day 4. Let's go get a bowl.
Hopefully tomorrow's the day.
Tomorrow the day, T.
I don't know, God will let us know tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. Joe, anything else you want to do, or just hit for noise in the background, or no? You good? All right. What's the plan today, T?
Joe's gonna slip over this hill that we live on, and he's gonna go look for a bull. Just see if we called anything in last night, because we did hear moose sounds through the night.
We did.
We did. And then I think we're probably heading back over to our glassing shelter areas to take a look. And I don't know. Hopefully find a bull to shoot today.
Engineer Joe, anything to add?
The brief update is it's day 4. Spotted some, I think one new bull last night at dark over south of the main glassing flat top. So we'll go over there, but I want to put eyes on that big one that I saw yesterday, I hope. So.
Okay. Today of the day?
I don't know, we're fogged in right now, so visibility's a quarter mile at best, maybe 200 yards, 300 yards.
On the walk over to the glassing shelter, day 4, I spotted a bull across the hill, so we stopped.
This is what should happen. And then we find out who's the dominant bull. Oh, they're going at it. The other one's running left now. Did you see it?
We're stopped because there's a bull right in the clearing where we typically walk up to our shelter. And so we stopped, and we've been having a standoff. And we can't go through our normal path until it gets out of our way. But it's not big enough to shoot, so here we are. The good news is the fog's finally starting to lift, and it looks like it's going to be another beautiful day. Hopefully. Our shelter is right there, and the moose is right in there.
Day 4 was good. It was a beautiful day. We had been doing some calling, mornings and evenings and stuff, trying to set up our glassing spot, our hill, and getting bulls to come into that spot. And this morning we showed up and there's 4 different bulls around there. The 4th bull I never got a good look at. He was on a ridge top and disappeared in some brush, and you're looking at other bulls. I never saw him. So there was 3 good bulls down there. One bull we called in probably to a couple hundred yards, could have killed it. It was a 60-inch bull, nice fronts, big nice paddles, but just not what we're looking for. The second bull is probably a 70-inch bull, but I think he's a little light on mass. He's got some weird character, like this weird point on his left side that just sticks out, that he'd give you some extra width. But his fronts are good, but I just don't think he's got the paddle width and height. And then the third bull was one I had seen yesterday, but he's just a nice 60-inch-ish bull with tall paddles, but not much for fronts. So then we passed on all those. Could have killed any one of them. And then this afternoon, I saw a grizzly bear. Got video of that. That's pretty cool. And then I saw 3 bulls today, this afternoon, that were on another ridge again, that were absolute booners. They're 70-inch bulls, points, fronts. They're just big. One I had seen yesterday. So you just call and rake and hope and pray that one of them comes over, because it's going to be tough. They're with cows. I don't know if the cows are hot yet or not. They got to be close, but those big bulls are hard to pull off those cows. So we'll see. But it was an exciting day. We've had 2 beautiful days of weather, so I'm a little worried about what's to come, because it never lasts long up here.
Good transition to day 5.
Yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. All you can do is be patient to kill one of them big ones.
Last night was a really good night of sleep. Eventful at about 5 a.m. when I woke up to a gun being loaded right next to my head. Joe thought he heard something outside the tent and quickly loaded that gun and waited. Turns out it was just Kelly unplugging her GoPro at 5 in the morning. So that was exciting.
Sorry, I was charging batteries.
Not a bad thing at all.
That did startle me as well.
So then we went back to sleep, but bad news is everybody overslept till 8. So we're just trying to hurry up and get ready here, get some food and drink in us, and set out for the day, hoping day 5 brings the big win.
We are officially on what we have named High Ridge, which is... Oh, Joe is alive. He left us here about 2 hours ago. We've never been to this ridge until today. Trying to see if there's other better animals over here. And so far there are. And a grizzly way off in the field. All right, T. Day 6.
Oh, day 6.
Tell us about it.
We woke up to a beautiful sunrise. Actually thought that it was gonna be just a spectacular warm day.
It's morning of day 6. And we're staying back in here because Joe is glassing a moose that might be close to our shelter. But the sky's really pretty. We haven't had a sunrise like this, I don't think, the whole time. hoping it means that it's gonna be a nice sunshiny day. We could use it. We might have a ways to go. We'll see.
As we were walking, spotted a couple cows and bulls right away. Nothing that we wanted. Got to our glassing spot, spotted a giant across the ridge a couple miles, and thought, what the heck, we'll try to go for it today. So we took off, and it took us 2.5 miles to get up to it. Well, mind you, we walked through thick cedar tree types, evergreen trees, and marshy bottom crap.
Alright, Joe, you're rolling. What's going on?
Okay, there's a really big bull right up this hill. I'm guessing 500-600 yards away. We need to be within 400 and we can kill him. Christina saw him, we've all looked at him. He's a very nice bull. So I hope he's still there.
We just walked through some thick trees,
Some crap
to get over here and cross the creek. We crossed through all of those trees, and there's a creek running right there. But we had to stay off to the left so he didn't smell us or see us coming. How you feel, T? I'm feeling good today, finally. Clear mind. Clear eyes, full hearts. Can't lose. Clear mind, strong feet, strong body. Clear eyes. That's the prayer everywhere we walk. We've been praying a lot as we walk. Hopefully this is the one. Sneaking off over there to try to find the bull we came across the ridge for. I got left back here. So this is the best I can do filming.
Update. We did not get that moose. It was walking away when they got to it. They told me because I was not there, but they got, how far? How close?
We got within 323 yards, but he had his butt to us, and then when we moved in a little closer, he was gone. At that point, it was cold and starting to rain. We sat down, ate a little bit, and then decided to get out of there. When we decided to take a different path, mainly me, and we went through the bottom, and the bottom ended up just being a water mushy mess. The only way I can describe it to you is if you're walking across sponges that were just full of water, like maybe sponges that are like, I don't know, foot deep. And so some spots you might step on the sponge, some spots you might think there's a sponge, but you just go through. And at one point, Joe fell just right into some water, which wasn't funny. The funny piece was he told me he was going to start navigating, and I was in a completely different area, so he chose his own path.
Any comment on that, Joe?
Didn't fall where I walked.
Well, you did. That's where you walked.
I didn't fall there.
Anyways, back to this interview. We got back to our glassing hill and we just kept walking. By that point it was raining hard, blowing, so we made it all the way back to our tent, stripped off all of our stuff, and just got in to get warm. Joe's boots were wet, socks were wet, our clothes were wet. Turned on our heater for a couple hours and literally just sat in here to try to start to dry stuff out. It was a hell walk all the way back. We did about 4 miles round trip. It was terrible.
That's why we are now in our sleeping bags, switched into our night gear. All of our other gear is drying up there or outside. It's a good thing we came back when we did though, because it is blowing again and raining again. It's cold and dreary. So we had some hot chocolate and are snuggled up, which is a big blessing because T's right. It was a walk, but Starting to see why those alone people don't leave their sleeping bags on days like this. Feeling it.
Joe took off later, about 3 hours later, and went to do some raking and glassing again in this nasty rain and wind, but we'll see what tomorrow brings. I have physically don't think I can make it clear crossed over there again, so I have been very honest and just kind of praying that something comes in that we'll have an opportunity at. Alaska is not for the faint of heart, and I'm quickly realizing that.
Did you guys get in there that we saw the biggest moose that we've seen yet to date this morning? That absolute gargantuan size moose. It's huge. Biggest moose I've ever seen. He's huge.
He was the one traveling through, right?
Yeah, traveling through that we never could get him to turn or stop or nothing up there. And he was in a killable spot, but you can't catch him.
So can you explain to the viewers back home, you see the moose, why can't you just kill it?
You can see moose that you cannot get there. Or if you could get there, it'd take you all day and then you'd never get your moose back. I mean, I don't know how to, it's the biggest thing that people aren't going to understand.
All right, we've been talking about how hard this is and trying to articulate that for back home, so I'm just gonna show you. Joe,
Yeah.
what's the last, gosh, I don't even know, 4 or 5 hours been like?
This. Rain, 40, and it got cold. I was out there today. It's like 40, 45 degrees. It's driving rain. It's 15 to 25 mile an hour winds. And I went out and called and tried to get in, and you get back and you tried to tell people how mentally and physically hard this is. And you look at, those are my boots. They're wet inside.
Everything.
They're wet inside and out. That's my rain gear out there, wet inside and out. These are my pants, wet. These are my socks, wet. And now it's 40 degrees. And now I'm gonna get to crawl in a tent that hopefully can get me warm.
Just a little tour of our, I sleep there, T sleeps here, Joe sleeps here. These cots keep collapsing. So there's wood to try to keep them standing in the night. How many nights do you guys think you've woken up on the ground?
Till twice.
At least twice?
Twice.
At least twice? My cot's nice because I switched out with T at the beginning,
But mine
that's not-
doesn't. After we did these blocks, I'm good. We
Mine fell
engineered.
last night.
Did it?
So we get back from this crap and have to make sure we get water from our tarp up the hill, make sure we filter that, and then find a place to lay all this wet gear, those wet boots,
That will not dry out.
these
tonight,
wet
by the
shirts.
way.
Yeah, it's going to be wet in the morning. We're going to have to put it back on to go back out. It's just hard to articulate. Every inch of this ground is soaked, and every inch of our clothing is soaked. And after all that, we come back and we are eating. You're eating my meal? I'll kill you.
I'm eating my chicken and
Oh.
rice.
She's eating her rice and chicken.
3 servings.
I'm eating that slop. It's actually pretty good. Turns out I have zero standards when it comes to food, and I'm loving all this. And Joe's sitting out here because he's still wet, and he has to get all of that gear off before he can come in here, where our sleeping bags sometimes get wet because of the dew and the moisture in the air.
We gotta try to keep as much moisture out of that tent as we can. We have to.
We do have a little heater we can use some, but even that, it's tiny.
It's futile.
It doesn't work super well. And if that thing falls over or somebody accidentally, I don't know, tosses a jacket on it, bad things could happen. So,
I'll put the zipper up. That's cold.
all right. And can't even film without shutting the door because T's freezing. So, not for everybody. What is our Nebraska? It's not for everybody. Neither is Alaska. Shelter repairs. The storm that blew through last night knocked it down. Nothing's easy in this state. Always something. Day 7. Sun is setting.
was ever a day where all the moose disappeared, today was the day. We could not find them anywhere. So, trying before the sun goes down one last time over here. We got a little dinker to run right in front of us within 100 yards, but that's not what we're here for, so let's hope day 8 is the day. Pretty sunset though, so that's nice.
We got told that we'll be pulled a day early just to make sure that we can make all of our flights, so that's kind of a bummer. So today is day 8 and last full day of hunting before we have to start packing everything up tomorrow to head out. So we're just hoping that the right bull walks through. We really haven't seen or had the opportunity at really anything except for maybe day 2 of actually hunting. So yeah, kind of a bummer. That's really the only way I can describe it. Joe is currently standing out in the fog, sipping his coffee hot chocolate
Sugar creamer
combo. Probably hoping this fog lifts soon, but other than that, not a lot to update.
We've been ready to roll for a while now, but the fog hasn't lifted, so we just sit here and wait. Joe said last he checked, visibility was maybe 100 yards, which means we're not getting anywhere near a moose in this weather before it notices us and is long gone. So we sit here. One of the frustrations. It did stop raining though, so hopefully this fog burns off soon. End of day 8. Tell the people why we're filming in the pitch dark outside right now.
Well, when we woke up this morning, a little bit early to get ready to go, but we were pretty fogged in. So we didn't leave our tent till probably 9:30.
10?
Oh, it was at least
late.
10, 10:30.
Headed over to our glassing shelter area. Fog just kept coming in and out, raining off and on. Joe finally spots a big bull, so we quickly made a plan to take off after it.
We spotted one. Now we're trying to go get in position. See if we can get it.
Oh, we walked all the way over there. About 3/4 of a mile. Pulled up by a spruce tree that was probably 200 to 400 yards from where we last saw him, and started calling and raking and calling and raking, and we were getting up to leave, and here comes a bull right out of the brush.
Oh my gosh, I forgot all about that.
He was, I mean, he's a 40-inch
About
bull.
ready to shoot him.
So we're all sitting there, and we call this bull. It's all on film. He's got to be, I don't know, 10 yards, I'd say. He was really close.
He thought I was the cow, and nobody seemed concerned but me.
We dressed Kelly in the
Yeah, nobody told me I
black
was.
suit on purpose. So we called him in, and he moved off, and we called and raked there. We moved up and called and raked. We moved around there, and we can't move this bull. So we walk the 3/4 of a mile all the way back to the glassing hill, and we no more than get sat down. There he is, sitting by a tree, laying by a tree, sleeping, 30 yards from where he was last seen.
And we saw a bull clear out there on that ridge over there. About 1,200 yards, so we hiked down through here, around through there.
You have got to be freaking kidding me.
So we just got back up here.
If that's not a kick in the nutsack. Bigger than life, that's him.
Basically, we went and we looked for this bull for a while.
Right there, laying
Couldn't find him
50 yards from where he was.
at all. Came all the way back
Oh, I
up.
want to kill that son of a fuck now.
Now he's out there just taking a nap.
And Kelly ate a bag of
Sun
bag of
chips.
Sun Chips.
Shout out Sun Chips, waiting for my sponsorship.
Took a few swigs of water and off we went. Back into the wilderness.
He's still freaking laying there. We got all the way back to our hill. We're going for him. Go big or go home. This is the last day.
So we made a plan. I kind of had a mental layout of the terrain to try to, because I don't think anybody's going to understand. You can't just walk out. It's not a field. You walk up on a hill and you shoot. It's so thick. It's shooting them is very, very hard, especially here. So we positioned in this little clearing that we thought was roughly 400 yards from him, and we're moving around. We're glassing moving around, and I slip off the hill into the spruces just to see if I could get a lane in there. Nothing. Pretty soon I'm coming back out of there. Some cows started cow calling. I thought, oh crap, he's gone. So I'm hustling back up the hill, and guys, it's brutal. And the girls are waving me like, come faster, and I'm like, I can't go any faster.
Well, the bull, all of a sudden we just heard him grunting a ton and then tearing stuff up, and I look up and I see his butt. But I know what to do, but I don't know how far he is. My binos have been fogged over since the glassing hill spot and didn't get clean, so I couldn't glass him.
It was foggy-ish,
It was
rainy.
It's raining in your face.
0.5 on the gun. 1.5.
He's walking right.
He's about to sit. He's about to sit right out there in front of you.
So I get back up there. We get T positioned, sitting off her bipods, and I lays him his butt because he's there, and it's like 460. So I tell her to put that dope on the gun, and he starts walking away. So I lays him again. He's 470, whatever. So we put that dope on the gun. It's another click or two. I can't remember.
Yeah, and then my glass completely fogged over, so I couldn't see him.
Shoot, yeah, I had to dig out my lens cloth.
Damn it, you should have been checking that up here while you were sitting around. Kelly, hold this, please.
He's turning.
And then I let out one cow call, right? So this bull turns to the right to rake this bush. And I said, T, I don't know, that's your shot. I said, you don't got to hold any wind.
He's right there. You better hurry.
He's right there raking a bird.
He's rubbing right there. Tell him you got a good rest. You got a good rest? Yeah, we're ready. Right in the shoulder.
Where'd he go? He went right.
Right? Just to the right. Can you see him? Stay there. I think he's down. I think he's dead.
I can't see.
I need you to come behind me and get your binos,
Okay.
because this is where it gets super gamey.
It's just antlers sticking up, isn't
It's
it?
just antlers, but we gotta.
Gotta make sure.
I've seen these son of a bucks jump up, so nothing's easy out here.
What'd you just say, T? I said freaking Alaska.
The fun thing is that this stuff is so thick, so when I was sitting, my bipods were out on my gun, but I couldn't make my gun lay level, so I just held the gun on one bipod, but I never told Joe because I knew
which
it
are like
wouldn't
the
go
little
over well.
The little legs
And
that
then-
hold a gun.
Yeah, the front bipods that sit on the gun, and then I had Kelly's bag under my arm to help stabilize, which was a huge help. And I ripped off the shot, and then I went completely foggy because I couldn't see
Because of the
anything.
recoil.
Now the real work begins. Day 8. The day before we are being flown out of this place. I already walked over for this lovely moose one time. Alaska is not for everybody, guys.
Yeah.
We lost hearing for a short time, too.
I don't think I'm going to be able to lead worship for a while because my right eardrum is blown out. I forgot we wear headphones when we do that. Yeah, you didn't give me a chance. That man right there, guide of the year. I love him. Oh, he's put us through hell. Freaking Alaska, man.
How far was that shot, Joe?
It's 480 or 90. I mean, I'm not exactly sure because it was hard to lace,
he was
but
walking.
It's 480 or 90. And I watched the vapor trail go in. I knew, I mean, it looked like it looked textbook in the binos because I could see the trace really good in the rain. So it looked good, it sounded good, and then I told T to rack the bolt. Well, then when he moved, you can't see him or your shooting lane's gone. So I moved to the right, and by the time I had moved to the right and kept him in my binos, he had tipped over already. He was done.
Hell yeah! T, you freaking shot a moose in Alaska. Oh my gosh. It is raining. We lost pretty much all visibility there, trying to keep an eye on it. I have been quiet for 9 days. Kind of. Kind of? I did okay, right?
You are literally 800 yards from the top of that hill.
Yeah, that's what we wondered, if this hill is a better option.
You just gotta find a trail over here. I think you guys can come around.
You kidding me? You should be proud we made it to you.
Bad news is, it's pretty big.
Holy mother of Moses.
What?
Wow. I'm sorry, buddy. Not really.
Took a bad time to take a nap, sir. Wow.
Holy mother of Moses.
So now I figured I'd cut these trees right here. You guys can hang your bags and packs and everything. We can figure out. Yep.
Just
I'll unload it. Well, we want it loaded here.
holy cow. Holy bull.
Get your picture that you want, and then we better get in there.
Thank you for your life, buddy. Just so you all know, this is a traveling trophy. It's gonna stay at their house, but if you ever want to visit, I'll take you over.
We went up and gutted him, found the bullet, and it was literally shot the thick part of the heart. So these girls got really lucky that they didn't have to have a bite of the moose heart. Because
No moose heart.
T found the bullet. Check it out. Go ahead and get it out, T. That's super cool. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. 400 and here, you want me to?
Yeah, what was the yardage?
About 480.
Holy
Gosh, I did over 400.
That is a beauty. You need to keep that.
So you're saying T nailed
The,
the moose in the heart from 480 yards away
And
in
we-
driving rain.
yes,
Yes,
On
and we
one
never,
bipod.
And we never practiced at that distance. We only shot at 400.
400. Yeah.
Good.
Hold this up again.
Okay. We spent the last 3.5 hours, a little over, moving it from the kill site, which is just past those trees down there, moving them up here, getting all the meat hung in that little meat pole area. Praise God, it was misty and rainy. She got the shot off, and then it was foggy, couldn't see anything. I've been praying, and this is the nicest it's been all day. Since the moment she pulled that trigger and we started packing, it is just, it's gotten nicer. And now we gotta walk back to camp, which is clear over there, about an hour. Then we're gonna come back in the morning and pack all this up. That's what we came here for. Any other words of life from day 8?
Can I go to bed now?
Yeah, amen to
This has
that.
been the hardest flipping hunt that I've ever done in my life, and I've hunted a lot of critters around the world, but this takes the cake.
All right, T, what are we doing?
We are packing meat out to the top of the hill. We're on load number 3.
Out of hopefully 4?
Hopefully, but we'll see.
Joe, how much weight you got on your back right now?
A lot.
Joe, just beast moding it up this hill with 100-pound plus hind quarter. Like a dang champion. This T and I sure as heck ain't doing it. We are making the final hopefully final walk back into our campground. The plane is coming. We're gonna start tearing camp down. Our first plane just landed. It's coming up over the hill. Second one should be coming in here. Right over my head here real soon.
It's already bailing. Look at
T's gone. You're the one that brought us out here.
Yeah, you brought us out here. You're I'm tapping.
You need your sat phone to tap out.
Yes, I'm officially tapping out.
Yeah.
You guys.
Good timing, huh? Thank you, God, for good weather and safety and a moose. Thank you, Jesus. Let's go home. Look how pretty it is when it's not the worst storm they've had in forever. Wettest September they've had in forever. Hey, you know who the only female is who's ever shot a moose with God's Country Aviation? Christina frickin' Thielen. That's a wrap.
We did it. We're going home. I'm so excited. Joe, how do you feel?
I feel good. I'm tired today, but I'm good.
We're coming home. Oh, it went red.
In a bad way?
I don't know.
Oh, it's still recording. This is why I do it.
You want to sit front, Joseph?
Did you see your head?
Nope.
Why did you do that?
Morning one. I made it.
It's about 45
Why do
degrees
you
and
look like we're in the Arctic?
misty.
Compared to everybody else, you look like you slept in an igloo.
I'd like to do a little walkthrough of what's in through day one. Maybe.
I'm gonna hold that thing.
Maybe if my secretary over here will hold me. Oh my gosh, Isaac must have talked to Jesus because apples and cinnamon are the only kind of oatmeal that I like.
You don't have to drink your coffee quick.
Got a little, oh, Kelly's hands over the thing.
Sorry.
I got a little braid in the freaking whoa, like this.
T's lost her mind. Day one officially started 3 hours ago, and she's making up lyrics already. Wow, she makes up lyrics.
You guys had to stand right there.
You know, you've been in there trying
I'm sorry,
to find
sir. I
your
can't
way.
see you. You blend in with the tarp.
Find your underwear, sir.
And
Finally, they
shutting-
were stuffed in a different kind.
T has that oatmeal taste.
It's tasting really, really good.
Alright, T. How did night 4 go?
Well, sleep was touch and go, but I did dream I could fly from house to house. We rented different houses that were different themed, and I could fly from one house to the other after visiting people. It was very odd.
Who'd you visit?
I don't know who the people were. And then I dreamt that we owned like a charter bus and we drove it from place to place. It was very strange.
Are you
Also-
saying you want to get out of here?
And I also dreamt that Kelly wanted to move in with us for 1 month only until she could find another place to live. But you sat down and you cried because you said that you wanted Joe to be able to spiritually influence you every morning. You didn't know if he was going to be able to or not.
Day 4 was another beautiful day. We had seen, I'm trying to filter water here just so everybody knows. So if I act like I'm,
Sounds bad. It's
sounds
not.
bad, but it's the only chance we got.
Okay.
So
Any last words of wisdom, T?
I got to get some warm clothes, dry clothes on here.
Joe's got to get warm, so we'll have to shut this
So shut
camera
that
off
camera
so you
off
don't
so I can-
preview everything.
So we get that clean enough, get her sat down. This bowl,
Yeah, you're making it fuzzy. Right
Sorry.
In your face.
I'm tired.
I know you are. Work harder, not smarter. Nope, reverse that.
It's a bull cow. What are they called? Bull moose. Day 4, I'm gonna get this.
I want to make sure I reload it before you.
I heard you reload.
I know, but it's in there.
So make sure it's a live one.
It's got a tip on it. Guys, I still don't know the answer, but look what I found. Oh, good job.
Apparently a lime green bag cover's not the right thing for hunting. Who knew?
Thank you for having this camera so close to my face.
What she said? Does that make it hard to see?
Nope.
I was talking to him.
Oh, she's trying to get it on film.
Oh, I got it. Keep going. These are the best thing in the whole world.
They're so good. I buy them by the case.
Oh, Fig freaking Newton. Been waiting for this moment. Whew, smells rank in here.